Hey everyone, it's been like a week since I last posted, so I'm really sorry for that. I swear I've been obsessed with playing Genshin Impact. I have to recharge my phone like 5 times a day. Anyways, this part might be a little rushed or bad or whatever because I wrote it at 2 AM because that's the time when my brain actually wants to be awake. Disclaimer before we start, this video contains explicit description and cuss words. Your viewer discretion is advised. With that being said, onto the video. Did it feel wrong? Unanswered questions circled around his mind, as a mild wave of ecstasy surrounded his whole body. Every day the same hallucinations, the same ideals, the same people, the same person. His mind was unorganized, silently panicking inside as a hint of betrayal inside his own heart started to accelerate. Betraying people I love is something I can never do, but betraying myself might be the easiest thing to do. Beads of sweat were trickling down his forehead as he woke up to the sound of his phone alarm ringing. Quickly remembering what had happened last night, he facepalmed himself. With deadpan eyes, mouth gaping in embarrassment as the inevitable thought of facing the consequences of his own choices cross-examined his sanity. What fucking frame of mind was I in last night? Recurring night events. We're going to go even further than that. I'm fine with that, but are you emotionally strong enough to handle it? Don't underestimate me. You sure as hell are supposed to be underestimated. But remember, if any of us catches feelings, it's done for. Right. Friends with benefits? Friends? They're friends. How can two people who just met on one night after a quickie session in the closet for 7 minutes be friends? Quoting again, God knows what can happen when you get cramped up inside a room with one person. In real life conversation. No, you totally drank something. Yes, that's it, someone spiked your drink. There's no way you agreed to that. Like I said, Yaoiorozu, someone totally spiked his drink. Mina takes in the sight of Deku fidgeting with his hands, biting his lip as his figure stiffens. She noticed that he was getting riled up again, wanting to take a hold of his hand and calm him down. Okay, you're tensing up. How am I not supposed to? You can just call him and tell him you were drunk. I wasn't, and that's the whole point why I'm taking the time and consideration to gather the patience and brain cells to reason with my decision. Whoa, calm down Jamal, don't pull out the 9. Really not the time to joke around. Mina, he's never talking in caps in real life, so this must be a big hit. No shit Sherlock, this man right here actually thought he had the mental stability to build a friends with benefits relationship with someone he barely knows. Speaking about that, who's the guy? I am begging you, please tell me it's not the guy you went inside the closet with. I am this close to losing my shit. Deku, what the actual heck? Wait, what's going on? I've never wanted to consider violence, but I really just want to give his brain a good beating right now. I actually have no clue what's going on. Can someone enlighten me? You've heard of Bakugo Katsuki? Oh, him. Yeah, he's the most qualified student in the class I'm taking, but I don't seem to get a lead. Momo, you seriously need to get updated on the rumors. Why are you friends with a gossip girl if you simply not even once heard about him? I guess I just understand that it's rude to make assumptions about things, Mina. We're not attacking me right now when the one who needs a whole fucking consultation here is this boy. Mina gives the green-haired boy the deadliest stare. Her hand fixated to a form of a fist. Please, I'm begging you. Enlighten me. Since you weren't in the party last night, we played 7 minutes in heaven with 7 people. He quit after his first turn and he wouldn't tell me why. The problem is, the person who's having this no-string relationship with him is Katsuki Bakugo. A goddamn fuckboy. Oh. Why hear this, Deku? What the hell happened inside the closet? I swear, I was just provoked. He was underestimating me and I didn't like it. Provoked? Mina said with a stern tone. Okay, we might have been close to doing it. Bye. Yeah, bye. No Mina, don't go, you're suffering with me. Did you pop it? Mina, how can you say these things in public? Loudly crying face. I asked if you did. Mina's being really scary. Agreed. I'm still here. No, in fact we'd almost get caught if it weren't for him. Oh, he's weirdly giving you mercy. Mercy? Damn, no, he was still rough, even if it was just the start. I literally have so much reasons why I'm objecting this. It's just crazy. Honestly, the thing I'm worried about is how you're going to handle this. You know you're putting yourself on the line. Do you guys really think I can't handle this? The freckled face uttered with a sad tone, looking at Yayoi Orozu and Mina, who seemed to be more concerned than they're supposed to. Izuku, we're not underestimating you or just think that you're weak. I'm just genuinely concerned because you push yourself off the borders. And the fact that when you fall for someone, you literally fall off so much for someone. Catching feelings for who? You really think you can get intimate with someone, getting touched all over and not have some sort of platonic relationship? From what I've known, that's really out of your ideals. God, fuck my ideals right now. I don't know what I was thinking, and that's probably going to be the source of thrill. You can't just. Fine. Momo, what do you mean? Fine. He's stubborn, he won't change his mind, besides it's just better for him than not interact with anyone other than her and us. About her, is she still ghosting you? I literally have no clue what the hell your Erika's been up to lately, but I think there's something wrong. Let it be, I'm sure she'll come to you when she wants to. But right now, have you called him? I was planning to, but I'm just kinda scared now. Gonna change your mind? No, it's just. Everything is overwhelming, I might need a little break to compute all of this. Just call us if he's doing anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Right. Izuku's room was pitch black, a little light traveling inside from his small window. He sighs in exhaustion, the urge to sleep and not clean up or catch up on some work growing inside of him. He quickly shakes the thought and lit up the room, taking a shower right after. He shook his head, as an effort to dry his hair. Hands pressing the rough fabric of his towel, to let the water from his green locks absorb. Deku eyeballs his phone, shuffling his fingers while evaluating the choice to call Bakugo. It's one button. He suggests to himself earnestly, trying to get rid of the fear that's starting to influence him. The line rings, and it only takes a few seconds to connect. Now you're calling? I was expecting it at 3 a.m. in the morning. Bakugo's voice was hoarse and he lets out a yawn. Speak, Deku. Come over, I'll give you my address. What time is it now? 11, but it's not that late for you, right? Time doesn't really matter, besides I'm still the most qualified in class despite the reputation. Right. Just come over. Bakugo hung up, a spark of enthusiasm raging through his body. Just a little spark. He sees the address sent by the other, a smirk dressing his already seductive face. He caught sight of the green-haired boy, uncomfortably sitting on his bed, body covered under the sheets. He was quick to realize that he had forgotten to lock the door earlier. Deku wondered why Bakugo didn't knock, proceeding to ask the question. Why didn't you knock? Deku chastised Bakugo for not allowing him to at least look a little more representable. Why didn't you lock the door? Don't go contradicting my words, you should have gave me a little time to at least look better. What's wrong with how you look now? I don't think there's any difference if you even tried to tidy up a bit. Is that supposed to be good or bad? I don't know, you take it the way you want. Bakugo drew closer to him, throwing off the sheets roughly. The one under the sheets wanted to berate him for invading his privacy like that, but he couldn't move. He was trapped under his trance, the way his scent hovered over him as the both of his weak hands were pinned to the bed. You don't do consent, do you? Bakugo huffs sarcastically, his dark and sadistic gaze emerging back from last night's events. The dominant knew that there wasn't a prominent excuse for the masochist to not preferably like his touch. They were always weak in the knees, body already wishing that his hands were traveling and wandering underneath. But he already knew that, there's no way to resist this. As the words come out of his mouth, his hands had already roamed on his neck. Slowly caressing it. Fuck. The sexual tension was almost too much. Why are we moving so fast? You want some fucking useless small talk? We could have kissed. I'm not popular for being soft and vanilla. Are you scared? Katsuki softly, but roughly stated. His hands dropped to Izuku's mouth, pulling his bottom lip down with his thumb. Fuck. The blonde thought to himself how hot the eyeshot was, already thinking about the sinful things he could do. His lust was another thing, if there was something we could discuss here, it was his kinks. Katsuki loved it when people were begging for mercy, and he loved it when people were desperate for his touch. This man knows what he's doing and will continue to tease until it breaks. Just for information, the first name is Katsuki. Oh, a first name kink? That's not new at all. As a few agonizing moments went by, his lips were now attached to his neck. Sucking the sweet nape, traces of vague red and purple marks engraved on his skin. He was turned on. So fucking turned on. Deku was almost shivering at the touch, his hands gripping on the blonde's back. The fabric quickly crippling up as the yearning to tear them off surfaces inside his head more. At the brim of his consciousness, there was one thing stuck. Betrayal. Would she care and be disappointed if she knew this? Would she stop talking to me? Would she just be fine with it and cheer me on? Would she care at all? He desperately tries to shake the thought away, but it wouldn't go. Lying on his bed, a person who he barely knew was sucking at the bare bits of his body, but his mind lingering on the person whose acknowledgement he wanted the most. The tears were brimming in his eyes. His body shivers again, but this time not because of pleasure. It shivers because of the distaste of anxiety swallowing him under. Back onto the deep waters and slowly sinking, drowning. Bakugo apprehended this clearly enough, his newfound focus on the boy who was on the verge of tears. The freckled boy's eyes were showing signs of panic, his free hands latching onto the sheets ever so roughly. The arousing sexual tension quickly diminished due to the circumstance. The ash blonde gets off him gently, getting a hold of his shaking hands. Trying to think of reassuring words because he knew that Deku was clearly not in a state to move things so fast. After all, it must have been hard for him inside the restricted closet. Especially since Bakugo didn't think too much about what he thought, he quickly regrets ever doing that after seeing the panic-stricken look in his eyes. The one on the bed was now sobbing tears, his body tensing up even more than before. He tries to curl himself up into a ball, because he knew Bakugo was still there. Ashamed that all of the build-up was now ruined because of his undeniable feelings, an aware lack of self-esteem and respect for himself. He stammers on his own words. Fuck, I'm so sorry it was going so well. It was almost as if he thinks everything is his fault, when things were going so well. Bakugo envisioned that he had been invalidated by someone, causing him to think that if anything ever messes up, the blame would be on him. Dumbus, why are you saying sorry? It was going so well, and now you're probably annoyed that we couldn't continue. I'm sorry for crying, Deku hesitated to continue his words for a while, frustration mounting inside his heart as he tries to continue the words he wants to say. You don't need to force yourself, it's okay. And stop saying sorry, you didn't do anything wrong. Katsuki swirls the thumb of his hand to his palms, gently clutching at the back of Deku's head as he pats it. The blonde pulls him into a tight embrace, as he feels the tears slowly trickling down the polyester material of his hood. There wasn't a slight reasoning for him to do this, they were supposed to have sex and that only. So why was he cuddling him with such comforting warmth, wanting to strip him naked of his own problems? A negligible impression of a boy who he just met yesterday, relying on his back and telling his menacing affairs so that Katsuki would fix it. Why did it hurt to see him like this? Moreover, why was he holding himself accountable for the cause of him crying? He didn't mind it at all. In fact, the more he tried to abandon the long-deprived aching to be needed by someone, the more it ached. It feels nice, your hands are warm. Of course they are, Dumbus. It felt right, finally accomplishing the acknowledgement you've yearned for. Even if it was with a different person.
Are you all anime merch deprived? Cause I am. Since a bitch is so desperate for them to be alive but can't do anything about it. Maybe it's just for the better to collect merch. Click the link in my description to buy a collection of anime merch of your favorite show. Use code MEME for an extra 5% discount for above $49 and extra 10% discount for orders over $100. Link is in my description.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm genuinely really sorry for the bad quality of editing right now because the program I'm using to edit literally had to delete itself and crash. Subscribe and like if it's not too much. I love you all. Kissing face with closed eyes. Kissing face with closed eyes.